It's like right on cue. I stand here and you hush falls over the congregation. You guys are well trained. I appreciate it. Shabbat Shalom. This is the second week in the Hebrew month of Cheshvan. In more fun times, Cheshvan is the second month of the Hebrew year. It is after Tishrei, the first month, and Tishrei is filled with holidays and everybody's happy. Who doesn't love a good Rosh Hashanah gathering with all of your favorite friends that you haven't seen in a long time? But then Cheshvan comes along, and it's a month that has no holidays. And I've mentioned that Cheshvan is very sad because there's no holidays, but the rabbis are very happy that there are no holidays. But it is said that Cheshvan is mar. Cheshvan is bitter, like bitter herbs during Passover, maror. Mar Cheshvan it's a bitter time. And unfortunately, we know that we can't have Shabbat without thinking about our friends and families across the world in Israel, and of course those who are being held captive. And so at the rear of the sanctuary, there is a list of those names and their ages of who is being held captive. This week is the week that they have asked us to make it known to congregations about what's going on. And so many congregations are making this Redeeming the Captive Shabbat. We are not doing that tonight because we want to take a little bit of a time to really understand some of the more complexities. So in a few weeks, watch for us to be talking more about it. Instead, tonight, even through the mar, through the bitterness, we're going to have some sweetness. Because you see, tonight we are welcoming Elmhurst University to our congregation, and we're so glad they're here. I've had the privilege of teaching at Elmhurst University for the past, 6 years now. It's a long time, it feels. And so we're just glad that you are here. Tomorrow, we have a young lady who is going to be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah, another wonderful occasion. We have a new accompanist who is going to be playing for us this evening. And so, Marissa, we're really excited that you're here, and no pressure or anything. And so Marla Aviva Bentley, our Director of Lifelong Learning, and I will be leading a little bit of music tonight. Whatever our reason for coming to the sanctuary this evening, let us take a moment to breathe in the peace, the joy, and the love of Shabbat, and to really clear our minds of all the mar, of all the bitterness, of all the crazy things going on in the world, and to really be present to this moment that right now we are here together as one congregation and we are okay. So let us take a moment to breathe in the shalom, the peace, and the love that we feel being in this space. Let's begin our service with the singing of Ma Yafeh Hayom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. It is my pleasure at this time to invite to the Bima to sanctify our Shabbat candles, Diane Schwab. We continue in our Sidurim on our prayer book on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Shabbat shalom. We continue with Baruch Hu, which can be found in our Sidurim in our prayer book, starting on page 28. Will the congregation please rise? Lie, 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Please be seated. It is my pleasure at this time to call to the Bima to lead us in Ma'ariv Aravim, which can be found in our Sidurim on page 30, Audrey Schwab.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv v'aravim. Bahokma potea sha'arim, uvot vana meshane itim. Umahalif et hazmanim, sader et hakokavim. B'mishmerotehem brakia kirtzono. Bore yom v'layla. Goleo or mipnei hoshe v'hoshe mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umeve laila, vadio bein yom uvein laila. Adonai tziva'ot shemo, all high v'kayam, tamid yimlok aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel, by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
We continue in our Sidurim, in our prayer book, on page 34 and 35 with Shema. Will the congregation please rise? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malachuto Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. Ve'ahavta את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We continue on the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, together, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together. We continue on page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא עושה, נורא עושה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע יום לפני משה ומרים. זה אלי ענו ואמרו, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
We continue on the top of page 43. Let's read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We come now to our congregational tefillah, which can be found on page 46. Will the congregation please rise? Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'Ma'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei metim atah Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei metim berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman hatad l'hachayot metim. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hametim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Will the congregation please be seated? We continue on page 55 at the top. Let's read responsively. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle, may all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt, may all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh ha-Shabbat. We continue with the singing of Shalom Rav, which can be found on page 60, followed by silent meditation.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam V'tov be'einecha levarech Et Amcha Yisrael B'cholit u'v'chosha B'shlomecha Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam Tasim le'olam Tasim le'olam. Shalom, shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimeru amen. Shalom, shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimeru amen. Uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimeru amen. V'al kol yoshvei tevel, amen.
We come now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of the Torah, which can be found in your Sidurim, in our prayer book, starting on page 244.
In kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'in kemosecha, malchutcha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor, Adonai
In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. We continue on page 247. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it.
Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kiddushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu la Adonai iti, un romama shemo yachdav. Exalt Adonai with me. Let us extol God's name together.
Lech Adonai Hagdolah
Please be seated. Our Torah portion for this Shabbat is called Lech Lecha. And Lech Lecha is the first command that was given to Abraham by God in the Torah. You see, Noah was righteous for his time, but 10 generations later, when Abraham appeared on the scene, of course his name was Abram at that time, he was even more righteous than Noah had been. And so he was going to have a series of tests, if you will, for lack of a better word, where God was going to ask something of Abram. And the first test, if you will, is Lech Lecha, to go forth and go to Canaan to become a great nation. But some people say that Lech Lecha doesn't really mean go forth to the land. It really means to go forth into yourself, meaning it is very frightening to actually sit and get to know who you are. And so what Lech Lecha is inviting us to do is to have the courage to look inside ourselves and to have the integrity to really find out who we are authentically. Tomorrow, Audrey is going to be reading from the beginning of this Torah portion, and she's going to be teaching us all about Lech Lecha. Tonight, we have the opportunity to welcome back somebody who had the same Torah portion 1 year ago when we read this Torah portion, Audrey's classmate, and Eva is going to read the Maftir portion, the final portion of this Torah portion. So Eva got to read this final Torah portion, and I have to tell you, it's on one of my favorite topics, circumcision. because one of the things that God asked of Abraham was that he not only circumcise himself, and can we just talk about they did not have anesthesia back then, but also he had to circumcise every member of his household and all of the people who were with him. That's serious commitment, just saying. And I have 3 boys, so we actually have conversations about these things. I will tell you, I have a alarm system in my house, and we had to come up with what should our code word be. And one of my sons suggested something that had to do with circumcision, and we ixnayed that word just because. So if you ever break into my house and the alarm goes off, do not give that word as the code word, because that's not it. Just saying. But we are going to be reading all about Abraham and circumcision, starting on page 93. Now, you cannot find page 93 in your Sidurim. No, you have to go to the large maroon books, which can be found underneath the seat in front of you, or if you're in the front row, it's underneath your seat, or it's underneath the seat in front of you. And so we welcome back Eva to come and read her maftir portion. Ta'amod chavabat chaviva likro haTorah. Ya'amod Daniel ben Dina u David la'aliyah haTorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. We'll be reading from page 93 in the Etz Chaim commentaries, the large maroon books. You can follow along.
ואברהם בן 99 שנה בהימולו בשר עורלתו, וישמעאל בנו בן 13 שנה בהימולו את בשר עורלתו. בעצם היום הזה נימול אברהם וישמעאל בנו וכל אנשי ביתו יליד בית, ומקנת כסף מאת בן ניכר נימולו איתו.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nota b'toheinu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to those of our family and community who are ill and in need of healing. We think this evening of Frederick Bryan, Sheila Alterman, Sonia Maria Reimar Miller, Sammy Adam, Carol Pretnar, Aziz Amusa, Rachel Basio, Barry Fidlow, Alexander Yonitz Yevitz, Bernice Jacobson, Holly Erickson, John Eulenberg, Denise Fleischer, Rui Heimovich, Rabbi Fred Wanger, Barbara Carlson, Munson Lyons, Nailesh Mehta, Albert Miller, Kenrick Ramoni, and Cindy Viano, as well as all others who suffer whom we know not by name. Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, ve'imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yivarech v'rapeh et kol cholei Yisrael, vayishalach lahem bimheira, refuah shlema, refuah tanefesh, refuah taguf, v'nomar. Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all who are stricken. May the Holy One of Praise mercifully restore them to health and to vigor. May God grant them health of body, health of spirit, and of mind. And let us say, Amen. Amen. We continue with Misha Berach, which can be found in our Sidurim, in our Sidur, in our prayer book on page 253.
Misha Berach Avo
to offer a blessing for those who are currently in captivity, it is my pleasure to invite my dear friend and colleague, Reverend Scott Matheny, who is going to offer a prayer, a blessing written by another friend of mine, Rabbi Ofer Sabbath Beit Halachmi, about redeeming these captives.
Shabbat Shalom. This is a prayer for the redemption of the captive Israelis. Our God, the one who raised Joseph up from the pit, be a refuge for oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. Send complete rescue and full redemption to those held captive by the enemy. Strengthen their spirit and bring them our prayers that they may be protected from all harm. Implant understanding in the heart of the enemy that they may return the captives in wholeness of body and spirit. Grant wisdom to the Israel Defense Forces that they may secure freedom for the captives without loss of life. Grant strength of spirit and courage of heart to all the sons and daughters of Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar, to release bonds of captivity and allow all of us to live in freedom. They shall call upon me, and I will answer them. I will be with them in distress. I will rescue them, and I will honor them. Amen.
The B'nai Mitzvah process starts a year in advance of a student's occasion. Even though students don't meet with me until about 9 months before the big event, families begin to wake up to the fact that this is really happening when the kids become eligible to sign in a year before their special date. Tonight, we have a special opportunity to publicly begin the countdown to their B'nai Mitzvah. So I would like to invite Calvin Schulberg to the Bima and Audrey Schwab back up to the Bima, as well as Eva, and we will go with our book passing. Audrey, tomorrow you will become a bat mitzvah, and will hopefully come back next year to read Torah the night before Calvin's bar mitzvah. And hopefully we'll have a sixth grader to whom you can pass a prayer book and share the same Torah portion, Shabbat Lech. Calvin, you will stand here a year from now, the night before you become a B'nai Mitzvah. We want to give you this JPS Torah commentary to use over the next year and even beyond that, to become more familiar with your Torah portion in preparation for your big day next year. Going forward, every service you attend will count towards your required services for your bar mitzvah in 1 year. And tonight counts for your first one. After the service, let us know if you'd like to see how to use your phone to sign in for services.
And so we stand here tonight with Eva, whose bat mitzvah was a year ago, Audrey, whose bat mitzvah is tomorrow, and Calvin, who will have his bar mitzvah a year from now, with this same Torah portion. So we link tradition and Torah together, building and strengthening our Jewish community. And I'm going to ask if there is anyone else in the congregation who might have possibly had this Torah portion as maybe her bat mitzvah portion as well, to please come up to the Bima. Anyone else have Lech Lecha? Come on, David. Yes, you have to come down too. And so I'm going to invite everyone who had this very Torah portion to come to the Bima at this time to receive a special blessing. Will the congregation please rise? Now your job is to stand here awkwardly and look really cute. Okay, now David, come around so I can, there you go, okay. Yiverechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha, v'yikuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha, vayasem lecha shalom, vayasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God be kind and gracious unto you. May God's countenance be lifted up unto you and grant you the most precious gift of peace. And let us say together,
Amen.
we stay standing, as it is my pleasure to invite to the bima our Hagba and Galila. Ya'amod Yaakov ben Dina uDavid Hagba. Ya'amod Gabe ben Yaakov Galila.
Vezot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe.
Please be seated. It is my pleasure to invite to the bima to offer a prayer for the United States, which can be found in our Sidurim on the bottom of page 258, Alex and Lisa Aguilar, page 258.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth.
May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen.
The prayer for the state of Israel can be found on page 259 at the bottom of the page, and it is my pleasure to invite forward at this time Robin Bralauer.
O Heavenly One, protect and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your counsel. Establish peace in the land and fulfillment of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Our service continues on page 256 as we rise to return the Torah to the Ark.
Etz chaim hi lamachzikim ba v'tomecheha meushar teracheha darchinuam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chodesh, Chodesh Yameinu Chodesh Yameinu Kekedem.
Please be seated.
Shabbat Shalom. This week as Rabbi mentioned, we read from Parshat Lech Lecha. In the beginning of the portion, it's written, Vayomer Adonai el Avram, Lech Lecha, me'artzecha u'mimodladecha u'mibeit avicha el haaretz asher arecha. And God speaks to Avram and says, go forth from the land, from your land and your birthplace and your father's house to the land that I will show you. Ve'escha legoy gadol, ve'avarchecha, ve'agad la shemecha v'yeh bracha. And I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. Avram is commanded to leave his home and all that he knows and take a leap of faith to go into the unknown. God incentivizes Avram by saying that he will be the father of nations and that his name will be a blessing. God thus extends the brit, or covenant, God first made with Noah to a new generation. Later in our parsha, Avram and Sarai will become Avraham and Sarah, adding the Hebrew letter He to each of their names, bringing God into their lives and their hearts as a symbol of the covenant. I feel particularly connected to this parsha or Torah portion because it was my bat mitzvah portion. This Shabbat is the 31st anniversary of my becoming bat mitzvah. My bat mitzvah was a turning point in my life, not just becoming an adult within the Jewish community, but in a way, it also set me on the path to standing before you today. While working with our new rabbi at my childhood congregation, B'nai Israel in West Bloomfield, Michigan, Rabbi Bertrand encouraged me to learn to lead services. My family were regulars at Saturday morning service, and I had grown up learning at Hillel Day School, so I was quite familiar with the Hebrew and meaning of the liturgy. Our small conservative synagogue had no official cantor. Instead, we had a group of lay chazanim, my father included. I love my father, who I call Abba, but learning with him was not so appealing. Instead, I studied the prayers of Musaf with Fred Schuback, a family friend, and began my journey as a shaliach tzibur, a prayer leader. I recall going to Fred's house with my siddur, a pencil, and a tape recorder to listen to him chant and for me to chant back. At the time, I did not know that Nusach had a name or even that many Jewish melodies were notated in books and not just passed down orally from generation to generation. I only knew that I felt a connection to the prayers, to the melodies and customs, that I felt more Jewish, more like myself than ever before, more connected to God when I sang. In the years after I finished college and my first master's degree, I worked at Temple Beth El in Michigan, teaching, leading services, and learning more every chance I could. After Jarrett, our second child, was born in 2011, I received a phone call from Skokie, Illinois. The president of Temple Beth Israel wanted to know if I would consider coming to TBI to be their director of music. Newell and I visited, I interviewed, and I was offered the job. I heard God's call, Lech Lecha, go forth. And with the 2-year-old Hannah and 4-month-old Jarrett in tow, we picked up our lives and moved across the country. We left everything we knew. We left our families, and like Avram and Sarai, we came to a place we did not know. Fast forward to 2022. I was in my 11th year as the director of music at TBI. I had 2 beautiful children, Hannah and Jarrett, then 13 and 11. My incredible husband, Newell, and I had been married for 18 years. My mother, Libby, had moved here from Michigan to Northbrook. I was in the midst of a second master's degree from Hebrew Union College in Jewish education with 1 more year to go. Then, an opportunity to become your director of lifelong learning presented itself, and once again I heard God's call, Lech Lecha, go forth. I had never led a school before, but I had been a teacher. I knew the shift would be a challenge, but one I would relish. I balanced school, my family, and this new role, and my life felt complete. This past year and a half here at Eitz Chaim has been a whirlwind and a joy. I finished my master's degree in the spring, and last week gained the title of Reformed Jewish Educator, or RJE. I've come to know our teachers, parents, and students. Working with Rabbi Kaznowski, Rabbi Weiner, and Aaron Robin is a dream come true. We have such a cohesive partnership, supporting each other and lifting each other up. Now I have the opportunity to conduct the choir and lead an occasional service, and I feel like God is bestowing upon me such blessings. When I work with our students, when I help our teachers to be the very best they can be, and when I support our parents and our adult learners, I feel as though the learning will continue on and on from one generation to the next. And when I sing and lead our congregation and choir and prayer, when together as one community we sing out, I feel like our melodies and traditions will continue on and on from one generation to the next. God tells Avraham and Sarah they will be blessings. Their belief, their commitment to this brit, the covenant, will allow future generations to know God. As a Jewish educator, this too is my commitment and my task, to spark curiosity, to encourage creativity, to help learners find joy in our celebrations, to find meaning in our prayers, to foster Jewish identity through our melodies and our texts, to feel a sense of belonging in our sacred community, our Kehillah Kadosha, to become a part of this sacred chain, Lador Vador, from generation to generation. I have been called to go forth, Lech Lecha, to journey from what is unknown to what has become cherished. What is calling you? What are your sacred opportunities? What blessings will you find when you answer your call? I look forward to finding out together. Shabbat Shalom.
If you would like to follow along with the song Lech Lach, you can do so in the Sidurim, starting on page 341. And if you know this song, please feel free to sing along. Lechi lach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Lechi lach. And I shall make your name great. Lech lecha. And all shall praise your name. That I will show you. L'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, lechi lach. And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing.
You shall be a blessing. Lech.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Debbie Shadroff with some announcements on behalf of the board. Welcome to our guests from the Elmhurst University and our new accompanist, Melissa Kerbel. Thank you. Thank you to our usher, Marianne, and greeter, Elise, and our security team. Mazel Tov to Audrey Schwab and her family on Audrey becoming a bat mitzvah. Please join us tomorrow morning at 10:30 to celebrate her becoming a bat mitzvah. Mazel Tov to Calvin Schoenberg on receiving his Torah commentary, and Yasher Koach to Eva Higgins, where you are, on reading the Torah. Next week, Soup Shabbat is back at a perfect opportunity to celebrate our new members. Join us for a bowl of soup, your way, with lots of fixings to choose from. Also join us on Sunday, November 5th for our Gary Gardner Memorial Empty Bowls fundraiser. Enjoy a bowl of soup and check out the pottery sale. All proceeds go to fight hunger. And just announced, Rabbi Chana Estrin will join us via Zoom from Jerusalem to lead a 5-session Zoom class, Israel at War, Moral Implications, and Life on the Ground. Rabbi Estrin will help us tackle the challenges of morality during war by creating a space to learn, ask questions, and talk about the conflict. Our JUF brunch with Lani Nasatir is coming up on Sunday, November 12th. Register online to join us. For more information on upcoming events, check out our weekly happenings email. Please join us after the services for a wonderful oneg in the social hall, sponsored by the Schwab family in honor of Audrey. Shabbat Shalom.
As we prepare to begin our concluding prayers, I want to see, is there anybody in the sanctuary tonight who is under the age of bar mitzvah? So anybody who has not had their bar mitzvah yet? Yes, I need some Schoenberg boys. Come on forward, and Audrey, come on back. We're going to open the ark beginning on page 282. Will the congregation please rise?
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושבי קרוב השמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, הכתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני V'takein olam b'malchut Shaddai.
We continue, please be seated. We continue on the top of page 287. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Together, rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth and whose yahrzeit we commemorate this Shabbat. We recall with love Lucille Schachtman, mother of Carol Ban, Albert Spenedel, brother of Joel Spenedel, uncle of Jacob and Hannah Spenedel, Ethel Siegel, mother of Barbara Turner, Sam Turner, father of Mark and Leslie Turner, Maxine Bronson Jason, mother of Beth Titiner, Dennis Dreyer, brother-in-law of Alan and Helene Frankfader, Beverly Littauer, grandmother of Amanda Littauer, Anna Lux, mother-in-law of Shyla Lux, Paul Jaffe, brother-in-law of Carol Nymark, Dorothy Hunter, grandmother of Lynn Whippich, Gabriella Miller, niece of Barbara Uditsky, J.R. Mitchell, nephew of John Wilkerson, Burton Newman, cousin of Ellen Mandel, Frank Serrata, grandfather of Philip Bogelub, Sylvia Cassellow, aunt of Leah Notaris, Cecil Rosenthal, David Rosenthal, brothers of Diane Rosenthal Hurt, who were also part of the Tree of Life massacre. They were perished 5 years ago this Shabbat. So we recall all the victims of the Tree of Life Synagogue, including Joyce Feinberg, Richard Gottfried, Joyce Mallinger, Jerry Rabinowitz, Bernice and Sylvan Simon, Daniel Stein, Melvin Wax, and Irving Younger. We also remember Lillian Spiegel, grandmother of Robin Channon, Adelie Stoller, niece of Michael Stoller, Peter Viator, uncle of Jennifer Brower, Stuart Weiss, grandfather of Rabbi Jessica Weiner, John Goubet, friend of Charles Lunar, Joyce Goubet, friend of Charles Lunar, Mary Lerner, mother of Lawrence Lerner, Israel Nadler, brother of Lila Warshawski, Mary Jo Sarzinski, mother of Jody Freeman, and Lottie Spergel. We also mourn the recent passing of Joyce Sefman, sister of Julie Benario, and Michael Kane, nephew of Sherry and Reese Kaiser, cousin of Sarah Siegel and David Kaiser. Our grief and sympathies are mingled as together we recite the Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found in our prayer book on page 294. Will the congregation please rise? Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaye echon u'vyom echon u'vchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalal u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
V'imru
Please be seated. Our closing song this evening, Ki Eshmeirah Shabbat, can be found on page 330.
Ki eshmerah Shabbat il yishmerini, Ki eshmerah Shabbat il yishmerini, oti le'ol me'ad beinu uveini, oti le'ol me'ad beinu uveini, ki eshmerah Shabbat el yishmerini, ki eshmerah Shabbat el yishmerini.
Whether it is a journey that is physical that we go on or a journey that we do inside ourselves, may we be blessed with the courage to have the integrity and to have the courage to take the journey and to have the adventure. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is my pleasure to invite Audrey Schwab together with her family back to the reading stand to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'yahavahu v'ratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lemahaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'charta v'yotanu kidashta kohamim, v'shabbat kodshecha b'yahava uvratzon hinachaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. B'tei avon, everyone. Let's go into the social hall and have a nice cookie. Shabbat Shalom. Some challah. Gabe, you have to have a piece. Yes. Yes, please do.
Okay.
Well done.
Of course, grab a piece.
Okay.